Hello, once again, good morning. Hope all of you are doing well at home. I visit your home once again with our virtual learning. Today, class 5, what we are going to look at is going to be very simple. I want us to talk about what we termed integers. Integers. Basically, we have a pre-knowledge of what integers are. So for that matter, we are just going to build our knowledge on it around integers. We are just going to develop it more, go further and look at it. With integers, when you say integer, what comes in mind? Yes, Governor, they are whole numbers. Perfect? Yes, crazy. Numbers which are not fractions, is okay, good. Alright, straight away, let's look at integers. When we talk about integers are positive and negative whole numbers. Integers, they are positive and negative whole numbers. Integers. So integers are positive and negative whole numbers. So that means that they are not fractions. They are not fractions. Integers are whole numbers. Today what I want us to look at is addition and subtraction of integers. How to deal with addition and subtraction of integers. Right. By this sense, I would like us to first of all look at using the number line. But you are grown-ups, so we are going to use that one as a curtain raiser, using the number line to get the concept of integers. So for instance, let's look at something like question 1. You have to simplify. Negative 4 plus 3. Good. You have been given negative 4 plus 3 and we are supposed to work it. Now, let's use the number line to get the concept. Then after, we'll put that one aside and use other method to work it without the number line. So in this case, let's look at this. Let us use the number line. I have my 0 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have my negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, my negative 4 here. So the question says that everybody draw this. Negative 4 up to 4. And I'll be giving negative 4 plus 3. The first number is the negative 4. So what you do is that you first of all locate yourself on negative 4 on the number line. And here is negative 4. So I've located myself on the negative 4. Then I'm supposed to move to positive 3. But if I want to move to positive 3, I could find it on my right hand side. So I've located myself first on negative 4, then I'm supposed to move to positive 3. That doesn't mean that you must move and be on the positive 3. No. First, locate yourself on negative 4. After locating yourself on negative 4, you move 3 times to your right because you are supposed to find yourself on negative 3. And negative 3 could only be located on the right hand side. So, move 3 times from here to here. 1, 2, 3. Be on negative 4 and just move 3 times. The next one is 3 times to your right. And when I locate myself on negative 4 and I move 3 times to the right, I will then end on negative 1. So this means if I have negative 4 plus 3, the result, what I'm supposed to get at the end of the day, is negative 1. Let's take another example. Negative 5 plus 1. Let's see. Let's draw the number line. If this is my number line, I can put 0 here, 1, 2, possibly 3, negative 1, negative 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. And the question is, I should simplify negative 5 plus 1. Alright, that's my second question. So the first number is negative 5. So let's locate ourselves on negative 5. And this is negative 5. Then how many times are you supposed to move? It says move just once. And that is positive 1. So you just move once to your right. It is not negative. The next number is positive 1. So you be on negative 5 and just move once to the right. So if I move just once from here, bam. Where did we end on? We ended up, on the number negative 4. So this also tells you that negative 5 plus 1, the result should be negative 4. Let's move on and see. What of this? Negative 2 minus 3. Alright. We still have our number line there. What is the first number? Negative 2. So we are going to locate ourselves on negative 2. And this time around, the second number is negative 3. This time it is not positive. Negative 3. So it tells you that first locate yourself on negative 2. The second number is negative 3. So this time around, if you locate yourself on negative 2, the second number is negative 3. So it tells you that be on negative 2 and move 3 times again still to your left. This time you are not going to move to the right because the number is not positive. It is negative. So we first locate ourselves on negative 2. Then move 3 times still to our left. So if you are on negative 2, you move 3 times to our left. From here, 1, 2, 3. So moving 3 times to our left, we then find ourselves on negative 5. So it means negative 2 minus 3. The result is negative 5. Is that clear? Good. Now, this time around, let's assume that we are not more using the number line. As I said, this is just a curtain raiser. If you are no more going to use the number line, what other means can we use? By using logical reasoning. How do I mean by that? So let's assume that we have this. We are supposed to simplify negative 7 plus 5. When we have something like this, it tells us that, first of all, let's analyze the numbers one after the other. What is our first number? Negative 7. The second number, positive 5. In logical terms, we are adding these two values. What you have to have it in mind is this. When the number has a negative, just tell yourself you are owing. I said when the number has negative, in terms, we are only applying this principle in addition and the subtraction. When the number is negative, you should tell yourself you are what? Owing. Good. And when it has positive, it tells you that is what you have and you are going to use it to pay. So when the number is negative, it tells you that is what you are owing. And when it bears the positive side, it tells you that is what you have and you are going to use that one to pay. So which of the two numbers has the negative? In this case, we have our negative 7 plus 5. It is the 7 which has the negative. So it is telling us that we are owing 7. We are owing Kofi 7 cedis. And the second number is positive. So it tells us that that is the money we have as of now. And that is what we are going to pay with. So if you are owing Kofi 7 cedis, and we now have 5 cedis to pay Kofi without 5 cedis. When we pay Kofi without 5 cedis, are we done paying? No. Okay. So if you are not done paying, how much more is left for us to pay? It's 2. Good. You are left with 2 more to pay. Is the 2 a debt or you have finished settling your debt? You are still owing. So since you are still owing, then it becomes negative 2. We are owing Kofi 7 cedis. We paid 5 cedis. We are still left with 2 cedis to pay. Since we are left with 2 cedis to pay, the answer must be negative. So that becomes negative 2. I believe you get that concept. Let's keep trying. So let's look at this. Negative 8 plus 3. Which of the numbers has the negative? Yes, crazy. 8. Good. And the 3? Positive. Good. So if the 8 has the negative, it tells us we are what? Owing. Good. And the 3? Positive. That's what we have. We are owing how many mangoes? 8. And how many do we have now to give it to her? 3. We are owing 8 mangoes, and we have 3 as of now to be given to her. So it means that if I'm owing 8 mangoes, and as of now I've gotten 3 to be given to Amma, then if I give the 3 to Amma as part payment, am I done settling the payment? No. How many more mangoes is left? 5. So it means it will be negative what? 5. I believe you are getting it. Good. Let's go on with this. Negative 4 minus 3. How do we see this? The first number has negative. Same applies to the second number. So if the first number has negative, it tells us we are what? Owing. The second number also has negative, so it also tells you are still owing. You are owing Amma 4 oranges. You've gone to her again and borrowed how many more? In addition, 3. You are already owing 4. You went back again and collected 3 more in addition. So in all, how many mangoes have you taken from Amma? 7. Then you are still owing, so negative 7. Good. Let's go to more peculiar cases. Let's assume you have this 3 minus negative 5. Here, we need to be a bit careful with our reasoning. Here we have 2 negatives in between 3 and 5. We have 2 negatives in between 3 and 5. And when we have 2 negatives in the middle of 2 numbers, the rule says that the 2 negatives should turn to addition. So here, the 2 negatives in between the 3, our 3 and 5, will turn to addition. So here becomes plus. Then the first number will be written as well applies to the second number. And what will be 3 plus 5? And that gives you what? 8. Let's try another one. I have 4 minus negative 1. 2 negatives in between. So the rule says when you have 2 negatives in between 2 numbers, you tend to what? Addition. So that becomes 4 plus 1. And that gives us what result? 5. Let's try more. I have negative 7 minus negative 3. Again, we could see two negatives in between the first number and the second number. So what happens to the two negatives in between? It will tend to addition. And our first number still remains to be negative 7. And the second number becomes what? 3. It brings us back to the first concept. The first concept, we're told that when the number is negative, it tells us we are owing. When it has positive, that is what we have and we are going to pay with it. So how many are we owing? We are owing 7 mangoes. How many do we have now to give? 3. Are we done? No. And that becomes negative what? 4. Is that okay? Good. So this is what we are going to look at. Let's take more of this. And we'll move on to multiplication of integers. Let's assume you have negative 8 plus 3 minus 4. Negative 8 plus 3 minus 4. Alright. All what we need to do is we take our time. Let's first of all concentrate on the first two terms, which is negative 8 plus 3. Negative 8 tells you you are what? Owing. Positive 3 tells you that's what you have. So you are owing 8 cedis. And you have only 3 cedis to pay with it. So pay with the 3 cedis. How much more is left for you to pay? Negative 5. So this will give you negative 5. And what was left? Negative 4. Attach it to the result. So it becomes like this. Now you have negative 5, negative 4. Again, negative 5 tells you you are owing. Good. And what of negative 4? You are owing. You are owing number 5 cedis. You're going to borrow another 4 cedis. In all, what will be your total? Negative 9. That's the concept. Let's look at this. Negative 7 minus 5 minus negative 1. Again, let's concentrate on the first two terms. The first one has negative 7. The other one is negative 5. Negative 7 tells you you are what? Owing. And what of negative 5? You are still owing. So what will be when you put it together? Negative 12. So we are done with the 2. We are now moving on to the third one. Let's look at the cross here. The third one, how many negatives are there? 2. And the rule says that in this case, what should it be? Positive. So plus. And that will be negative what? 11. Someone will say that let's go by this principle. Negative 7, negative 5 minus negative 1. Well, what you can do is that first you repeat your negative 7, still repeat your negative 5, and the concept says that when you have two negatives in between two numbers, what should it be? Positive. So this here becomes plus 1. It's the same thing. Let's work the first two. Negative 7, negative 5 will give us what? Negative 12. And the third one is plus what? 1. In this case, what will be this and that? That will be negative 11 in the final answer. I believe you've gotten the concept. So in this case, if you have gotten the concept, then it means that let's quickly look at multiplication. So we are looking at multiplication of integers. So let's assume that you have been given something like this. Simplify negative 4 times 3. In multiplication, we have negative 4 times 3. In multiplication, once again, when we are doing it, and it happens that the negative sign appears only once. When the negative sign appears only once, that one still maintain that particular negative sign. Let's look at it. In this case, how many negative signs do we find in our multiplication? 1. We are still going to maintain this negative sign. So you maintain it. After maintaining that negative sign, just multiply your two numbers. We're going to be 4 times 3. Let's say 4. Go. And write it in front of the negative sign. Let's look at this. 5 times negative 4. Again, in this multiplication, how many negative signs do we have? Only one negative sign. Maintain it first. So I'll maintain that negative sign. After maintaining it, we left with 5 and what? 4. What are they doing? They are multiplying. So what is 5 times 4? Abena, good, 20. Write it in front of the negative sign. It's simple. Let's look at a case whereby the negatives are 2. Our negative 4 times negative 2. This time around, how many negative signs are there? 2. Since the negatives are 2, this time around, what we have to do is that simplify the negatives, cancel them out. So the first negative will cancel the second negative. So when it comes, it becomes 4 by 2. And 4 to no class, good, 8. Let's try another one. Negative 5 times negative 3. How many negatives? 2. What are we supposed to do? Cancel. This, cancel this. 5 by 3. And what is it? 15. Yes, a question. Oh, okay. When the negatives are 3. Class, let's try it and see. Negative 3 by negative 4 by negative 2. This time, how many negatives are there? 3. Good. You know something? Since the negatives are 3, let's take our time and simplify it one after the other. We'll use this to cancel the first one. So this and this are cancelled. It is not with this. Can we use it to cancel another one? No. So how many negatives will be left here? 1. So what are we supposed to do? Maintain. So you maintain it. So you are maintaining that negative. Then it becomes 3 times 4 times 2. 3 times 4 times what? 2. Still that one negative will be maintained. What is 3 times 4? 12. And what is 12 times 2? Yes, 24. Good. So the answer is like this. I believe you have understood today's lesson. And for that matter, all what I'm going to do is that I'll give you an assignment. You try it and submit to me. Thank you for your audience, participation, contribution in the lesson. Until that, bye-bye.